A trip to the dentist turned Mayor Sylvester Turner's life upside down. At age 68, he says he'd always been healthy. Tonight, in our exclusive television interview, he talks about going public with his cancer diagnosis and leaning into his faith to endure some uncomfortable treatment. The very moment you learned you had cancer, your thought at that moment.
Well, that was that threw me for a flip.
Everything changed for the mayor when he says he went to the dentist in June for a nagging toothache. The dentist noticed a lump on his jaw and sent him to a specialist who said,
"Mayor, I'm going to send you for a biopsy." I said, "A biopsy for what?" I said, I got a toothache.
It was much more. The biopsy revealed he had osteosarcoma, a form of bone cancer. 1 week after his diagnosis, he had a 9-hour surgery at MD Anderson, where doctors took bone from his jaw and replaced it with bone from his leg, followed by 8 days in the hospital.
I never was in a lot of pain. They would come and ask me on a scale of 1 to 10, where's your pain level? My pain level never exceeded 2.
Really? On August 1st, he began 6 weeks of radiation and continued going to city council meetings.
From a mental and emotional point of view, it was good for me.
Good for him because he couldn't see himself sitting at home and everybody asking how he was doing. In fact, outside of his family, few people knew about his treatment.
The only person on my staff that knew was the chief of staff.
Other council members?
No.
So you were showing up after radiation and nobody knows?
No. They knew what I said to them is that I had major oral surgery. I cannot even imagine going through this journey without my faith. And you didn't tell anybody? I told the right person who was in charge. I prayed. God knew my journey.
There was one problem.
The radiation was a bit challenging because I'm claustrophobic.
This is the mask he had to wear for radiation, 5 days a week for 6 weeks.
You can't talk because it's so tight, but I was, Get
it off me.
And they took it off.
What helped? He asked the technicians to play different music in the room.
You got any gospel around here? True story. I said, can you find a gospel station?
They found a station.
And I said to them, turn it up. Turn it up loud enough for me to hear it.
The mayor told me he had no intention of sharing his diagnosis at his State of the City address earlier this month. But he had an epiphany.
That sometimes you go through stuff, not just for you. That sometimes you go through stuff to benefit somebody else. So how dare you just hold on to your story?
Sharing his story. The mayor, by the way, got a letter from President Biden, who lost his son to cancer, telling Turner, "You are not in this fight alone." The mayor learned last week his cancer is in remission. You can watch my entire conversation with Mayor Turner on KHOU Plus right now. Download the app on Fire TV and Roku.